If you're anything like me, the best idea that you've ever had for anything, a video, a photo, a piece of art, quickly becomes absolutely flooded with doubt as soon as you start thinking about making it. And this isn't just some random occurrence. It's actually stage 2 of kind of a project breakdown, a 4-stage project process that pretty much everybody goes through, unless you are wildly confident. So what you need isn't a complete overhaul. What you need is to just recognize what stage you're in and how to get out of it to the next one. Essentially, a map. This is that map. So, stage 1, uninformed optimism. And this is absolutely the best place to be. This is a lovely warm blanket that you wrap yourself in because you've come up with an idea and it hasn't yet gone anywhere. So in your head, because that's the only place this idea lives, you have the plaudits, you have the applause. There's no rendering issues, there's no color palette problems, there's no cost issues, time issues. There's just no problems because you've skipped right from this is an idea in my head to in my head, this is what this is going to be like completed, and look at all the accolades that could bring. Stage 2, the exact moment that you transition from stage 1 and your lovely abstract acclaim into stage 2 and you actually begin planning. It's like hitting a wall where all the realities of this project just come rushing at you all at once. This is informed pessimism, essentially a massive reality check looking at the scope of the work. You probably realize, as I do incredibly frequently, in order to pull this off, I need a secondary skill that I just don't have. Or I need to be better at something that I don't have time to learn because there's a deadline on this. That's a big one for me. Then you've got basic things like the perspective is off, the materials are way more expensive than you thought, and essentially your excitement completely evaporates and is replaced with that looming sense of dread. And what happens here with the majority of projects is you abandon it because, okay, I can't do this anymore, and you loop right back around to stage 1 and a new idea because it feels lovely and comfortable, when really we need to find our way out of stage 2 in order to have any kind of success. The way I like to look at it is that this is the structural logic. All of this doubt is quite simply just an understanding that you finally do understand what this project entails. This is a positive. So yes, there may be this list of drawbacks and reasons that this project is not going to work. And that's fine, because yes, even if it is a great idea, some projects are not going to work in your time constraints, your budget, and your current skill level. It's okay to shelve that project and come back to it. However, for the projects that you take all of those elements and you break them down, and there is maybe one thing missing, this is not the time to turn around. As I say, this is just an understanding of what you need. So what I like to do is I like to break down all of the reasons that I'm currently giving myself that I can't make this particular project. And then be very rational about, are they real reasons and can I overcome them? This video is a perfect example. I have wanted to make this video for a very long time, and I keep putting it off because it doesn't meet the scope of what I intended. And the reason for that is because of time. I'm constantly interviewing other people, other creatives for more videos for this particular channel. Get subscribed to see those, by the way. And each week I tend to organize interviews. I go out, I speak to people, I set up these interviews, I conduct them, I edit them. It takes away an awful lot of time. And that means a video like this, where what I wanted to do is to take each of these individual elements and head out. I wanted to go out to a physical location where I could demonstrate them in person. But due to time constraints, that wasn't possible. So what I've done is I've pared the scope back. The message is what's important, and I can get that message across to you from my studio with a camera, and I can still tell you the story. So the idea is there, the video is there, I've just reduced the scope. And again, if maybe you're not willing to reduce the scope to get that done, fine. Let's put that to one side. We'll see how many things we can overcome. The only issue here is time. Let's put it to a side and come back to it when I have more time. But if you can reduce the scope, if you can find a solution, this is how you're going to get out of stage 2. Because otherwise you're just going round and round in circles. Now, you might think, after all that negativity in stage 2 and pushing through it, the stage 3 we might be starting to look at the light. But it's called the Valley of Despair. So we're definitely not getting to any kind of positive light. And this is the point at which you are in the trenches. The work has begun. You are powering through and you're putting hours into this project, and you're so deep into it that you're just fixated on small elements. So I edit video. This is where I'm looking at a timeline and constant edits, and especially if it's a video that I'm doing of myself and I'm going back over the same sentence that I've said over and over and over again to select the right version, have the right cut. And this is just the point at which everything starts to pile on top of you, and you start to think, this is no good. I have missed out, and I'm wrong, and I shouldn't have gone past stage 1. I should have stayed at that optimistic level. And this is where the doubt starts to creep in. And this is where those half-finished projects get left behind. At least if you abandon them in stage 2, you've only put maybe a bit of planning or thought in, and you can abandon it. If you abandon it at this point, this is the hard drive full of half-finished projects, because you hit the valley of despair and went, this isn't very good. This is not what I imagined in stage 1. My overcoming of the issues in stage 2 was way too ambitious. I should just quit. So now we need to talk about how you get out of the valley of despair. And I don't know if this is going to sound like terrible advice, but I think it works. And this goes back to Cian that I spoke about earlier. And he has a philosophy of make it exist, then make it good. So that means to get out of the valley of despair, we're talking about minimum viable product. What can I create that is essentially getting me to the end of the project, or getting me to the end of the section of the project that's holding me down? The valley of despair doesn't have to be one complete trudge of a valley. It can be a valley that has a problem that you struggle through, and then it has a clearing, and it's nice and easy. And then another problem that you struggle through, and then a clearing. That's how I view my valleys anyway. But if you can get minimum viable product at the end of that, and it exists, the project exists, you can then move on. You can power through the valley. This means that you don't have to go through every single section and say imagine wooded areas within the valley. Rather than chopping down every single tree in order to get to the other side, you chop down a singular pathway. And that's how you get out. It's not perfect, but it does exist. And then we can work from there. And this is when we get to stage 4, informed optimism. And this comes from all of that time that you've spent in the valley of despair. It comes from everything. You don't get here without taking the journey. But informed optimism also doesn't mean the project is finished. It just means that you can see where the direction is. You're not bogged down anymore. You're not in the trenches. You've looked at the project and you've worked through it. And all of a sudden you start to see what it can be. You start to be optimistic about the end point and what you're creating. The path is entirely visible and it's just mental. You've put yourself in a position where you've kind of rewired your brain. You've got a blueprint for like resilience of how this project's going to get done. And this is where the work starts to flow. I think this is what the younger kids would call a flow state, the informed optimism. And the best part about it is it's informed because you've gone through everything. You now know that this is going to be good. And that's because you've created something that maybe just isn't good or needs work, but you can see the process, you can see where you're going, and you can see what's going to happen. Informed optimism. So what's the message here? It's something I've spoken about before. It's something, again, that comes from Cian. Make it exist, and then make it good.